The sound of her suitcase wheels scraping against the hardwood floor was the last thing I remember before the silence swallowed everything. I stood in the doorway, barefoot, watching Elena zip the final bag with hands that didn't tremble. Mine, though, wouldn't stop shaking. She didn't look at me when she said it. "This job is everything I've worked for, Ryan. I can't stay here and wonder what could have been." Her voice was soft but final, like the closing of a door that would never open again. She hugged me out of habit, her perfume clinging to my shirt, the same scent that used to make me feel like home. That morning, I drove her to the airport in silence. She tapped through her phone the entire ride. I told myself she was checking emails. But deep down, I already knew better. The job was in New York. A marketing director position for a firm that only hired the best of the best, as she'd said with that hungry, gleaming smile. She was ambitious, unstoppable. I admired it once. But as the distance grew, ambition became a weapon. At first, she called every night. Then, every few days. Eventually, it was just texts, short, polite, emotionless. Busy with a campaign. Late meeting. Talk tomorrow. Don't wait up. I wanted to believe her. I needed to believe her. But one night, she posted a picture, smiling on a rooftop, champagne in hand, city lights behind her. And next to her, his hand resting too comfortably on her waist. "Julian, my creative director." She'd written in the caption. Something inside me cracked, sharp and cold. I stared at that hand for hours, zooming in until it blurred. A week later, she stopped picking up my calls altogether. And then, the final blow, a message that might as well have been a death certificate for our marriage. "Ryan, I think we both know this isn't working anymore. I need to focus on my future. Please understand." No explanations. No apologies. Just a cold request for understanding she didn't deserve. She mailed me the divorce papers. I signed them without reading. What was the point? She'd already left long before the ink dried. The next 2 years passed like a fog I couldn't crawl out of. I moved to a smaller apartment, switched jobs, and pretended to rebuild. But every now and then, I'd see her face in some business magazine, Elena Marsh, the rising star of marketing. She looked radiant, untouchable, powerful. I told myself karma didn't exist. People like her always landed on their feet. Until one rainy afternoon, when it did. I was at a cafe downtown, nursing a black coffee, when I heard her voice. Muted, shaky, nothing like the confident woman who once tore my life apart. She was sitting 2 tables away, hair tied back, makeup faded, her once perfect posture slumped. I almost didn't recognize her. "Julian, please," she whispered into her phone. "I know it was a mistake, but I can fix this. Just, please don't do this to me." Her voice cracked on the last word. I froze, every nerve alive with disbelief. I didn't want to listen, but I couldn't look away. She hung up, stared at her coffee for a long time, and then, slowly, she started to cry. Not quietly, not gracefully, but the kind of crying that comes when you've run out of masks to wear. The waitress approached her, concerned, but Elena just waved her off and muttered something about bad news. I knew that tone. I'd spoken with it once, when she left. Curiosity twisted into something darker, heavier. I shouldn't have followed her out of the cafe, but I did. She walked aimlessly, clutching her phone like a lifeline, until she stopped at a bench near the park. I waited from a distance as she made another call. "I can't believe this. After everything I gave you, Julian." Her voice trembled. "You think you can fire me and just walk away?" Her words confirmed everything I'd suspected. The same man she left me for had thrown her aside. I felt nothing at first. No satisfaction, no gloating. Just silence. Then, slowly, a strange calm washed over me. Karma had finally spoken, not with fire, but with quiet precision. 2 weeks later, I ran into her again, this time, by accident. I was leaving a client meeting when she stepped out of a small cafe, clutching a paper resume folder. "Ryan," she said, eyes wide, as if she couldn't believe it. "Elena," I replied evenly. She smiled faintly, awkwardly. "You look good. Different." So do you, I lied. We stood there in silence, the city noise swallowing our unspoken words. I heard you're doing well, she said softly. You deserve that. I nodded. And you? Still in New York? Her eyes flickered down. No. I left the firm. Things got complicated. Complicated. That was her word for everything she didn't want to face. I'm back here for now, she added, voice trembling. Trying to figure things out. I wanted to ask if Julian were still around, but I didn't need to. The loneliness in her eyes was answer enough. I'm happy for you, Ryan. Really. Her voice broke on the last word. This time, I smiled, not cruelly, not triumphantly. Just, free. Take care of yourself, Elena. And I walked away. That night, lying in bed, I thought about the woman I'd loved, the life we'd built, and the shard she'd left behind. For years, I'd wondered why she'd chosen ambition over us. But seeing her like that, alone, lost, stripped of everything she'd sacrificed me for, I finally understood. Karma doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just waits, quietly, until the person who once walked away finds themselves standing in the same silence they left you in. And when it does, it doesn't need to announce itself. You just know.